What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 tips for wide receivers to improve their football IQ. So we're going to be talking about how you guys can read defenses, read DBs, and how you guys can structure that and to your moves and your moves at the top of the route, okay? So I hope this video helps you guys out, but also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to know all the specific drills you need to do on the field for route running, press releases, catching, balance, explosiveness, check out that very first link in the description below for our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout plan. So what it is, it's an 8-week daily schedule with all the daily wide receiver drills you should be doing to improve your route running, hands, press releases, all the stuff I mentioned before. We break down each day of the plan with sets, repetitions, different workout splits, and we give you rest days along with that plan. Also, we include a 2-hour-long video where we break down the importance of each drill and show a full speed example of each one. So if you want an 8-week complete off-season workout schedule for wide receivers on the field, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get started with this video. So first route, I'm sure you guys have all seen this. It's Stefon Diggs doing this kind of longer developing release on this slant out route, right? So now let's talk about this. So first tip to improve your football IQ as a wide receiver is you need to understand the whole play concept, okay? So a lot of the times wide receivers will come out there and if they have to run, like let's say for example, they just got to keep it simple. They just have to run a slant route, right? If I'm just running a slant route, they'll come out there and they'll just think every single slant route is the same. Oh, okay, it's a slant. I'm just going to do the same thing every single time. If I get pressed, I'm going to do this, right? But the thing is there's a different timing with the quarterback because sometimes when you run this slant route, it might be a quick game slant, like where you're the outside guy, but then the slot has to run a bubble and it's got to be quick right off the break. The quarterback's just catching and throwing. A lot of it ties into the quarterback's drop and the quarterback's footwork. And then there are times where maybe you're running a slant route or like an under route, for example, kind of similar. And then the quarterback's looking at like a corner and a post concept, like a scissors concept. And maybe he's going from post to corner back to you on the slant. So I don't want to run it just like a quick game slant. I don't want to get out of there as fast as possible because I'm going to get to the window too fast. There's a different timing of the play, right? So as a wide receiver, I need to understand that. So on this play concept, you see how Diggs takes this like kind of hesitation skip where he's operating to the outside out here. That is solely because this play was off of play action. If you guys don't believe me, because I know we can't see the quarterback on this, rewatch the tape. Go look up this play from this past Thanksgiving, and you see how Allen, it's play action fake. He's fake power blast, whatever it is. Can't remember what it was. So Diggs can take a little bit more time with his release out here. He doesn't want to get to the out too quick because that will give Lattimore too much time to recover. So first tip to improve your football IQ as a wide receiver, you got to understand the whole entire play concept so you can structure your releases accordingly. Nothing worse when a receiver is doing all this fancy stuff out here like this skip route, and then they take this super long move and the quarterback gets sacked because we're taking too long. We got to understand when to use it. Now let's talk about this. What if it was just like a catch throw? What if it was like the quarterback was just taking a 3-step drop? He could set him up with like a quick little wide step, right? Wide step to the outside, then break to the slant, then break to the out. It doesn't have to be this slow tempo. So we have to make sure that we understand what the quarterback is doing, what his footwork is, if it's play action, and the whole play concept as a whole so I can structure my routes accordingly. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. Great job by Diggs being patient, letting the play develop, and then obviously getting that DB off that platform. Great work there by Diggs. Okay, so now, second tip to improving your football IQ as a wide receiver is you have to understand how to read a DB and understand kind of based on the pre-snap read what he's going to do and what his responsibilities are. Okay, so now this press coverage situation is Davante Adams versus Jalen Ramsey. So Adams is one of the best guys in the world at getting a read on the DB. So many wide receivers don't do that. So many wide receivers just come up to the line of scrimmage and they just pick a move, they pick a release, they pick a route move at the top of the route, and they don't react off anything. So to have that football IQ, understand sometimes releases are about reacting. So let's watch the thing full speed. So Ramsey ends up taking away the outside. Now, why would a DB ever be outside shade? Well, actually, we'll talk about that after I play at full speed. So he comes off, gets this little shake to the outside. Ramsey's outside shade. We take the inside release. And again, he has help over the middle, right? So that's part of what Davante Adams knew based on the pre-snap read. So I come up to the line and I see that a DB's probably head up, but I see that there's like a safety, like maybe 2 safeties inside. Maybe it looks like the linebackers are in zone, right? You don't need to know the exact whole coverage. It certainly helps, and I do recommend that, but let's keep it simple for today. Let's say we come to the line, we see he looks like he's pressed up, but I look inside, I see if there's 2 safeties. I see if there's some linebackers. It looks like they're in zone. They're not stacking the box. Doesn't look like they're bringing pressure. Okay, chances are this DB's probably not going to let me get an outside release because his job is to force me inside to where he's got safety help, especially when he's a dangerous receiver like Davante Adams. So as a wide receiver, I might maybe he will give me the outside release, whatever. But sometimes I go at him and I take my time and I try to get a read at him. So you see how Adams, he's real patient with his release, right? And again, how patient he is with this release ties into what? It ties into the timing of the play, like we just talked about with that route from Diggs. And again, Diggs, Adams, two of the best route runners in the game, right? You want to try to copy, you want to try to apply what they do to your own game. So he comes off here, he's nice and patient, right? Nice and patient, sees that Ramsey's sealing the outside a little bit, see that he's outside shade, he's not real hard inside press. That's fine. If I got to run a slant route, let's just get off this route. Let's take the inside release. Would be the same principles if he had to run a corner route, if he had to run a dig route, if he had to run a post, whatever it is. You take what the DB gives you based on that pre-snap read and understanding the coverage and understanding what his leverage will be. And we're about to get into that right now. So again, second tip to improving your football IQ, know how to read a DB with your release. Be patient. You could go inside or outside. If Ramsey were to close this thing off and he were to seal the inside as he was attacking him, that's fine. I would just convert my release outside. Maybe I'd work a diamond release. He dies, I run the slant underneath. Maybe I got to run a fade. I could close the gap. He takes away the inside. Fine, I'm going to go run this fade to the outside. It all depends on how this DB reacts, and that's what we have to read. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Adams being patient, getting Ramsey to be on the outside, understanding that leverage, and then making this play over the middle. Okay, so now, third tip to improving your football IQ as a wide receiver is understanding leverage. You need to understand leverage. You need to understand why a DB is playing a certain way and how to actually defend that. So Amari Cooper has to run a post route. This is a question I get asked at least 2-3 times on a weekly basis is how do I run a post when I have an inside shade off man DB? What do I do? He's right my way. What do I do? How do I run this route? And this is exactly what we're talking about today. So let's watch the thing full speed. So Cooper does a great job of coming off, attacking the outside shoulder, getting his hips to flip, and then making this catch. So let's talk about it, right? So why in the hell would a DB ever be inside shade off man? Why is he lined up there? Because his goal is to not give up the inside. Just like if he were pressed. If he were pressed up and he was inside shade, it is the same exact thing. Same principles apply, except now he's going to probably try to get physical and get hands on you. He's trying to take away the inside. He's trying to force you this way. So if he could force you towards the sideline, like if you just think, oh, okay, I got to go run a fade, I'm just going to go run around him, he's going to get right into your hip pocket and force you straight towards the sideline. So if I have an inside breaking route, I don't want to attack his leverage. Like I don't want to square him up. That's what a lot of people think. They think, oh, I want to attack his leverage. I want to stem him. Guess what he's going to do? He's going to keep his leverage because that's where he doesn't have help. He doesn't have help inside. He has help outside, and that help is his sideline. That's the biggest help he could possibly have is if he forces you out of bounds, you're out of the play. Or if you're a yard from the sideline, you're out of the play unless it's an absolutely perfect throw, and it's very, very tough to get that, right? So Cooper does a great job of coming off and attacking that outside shoulder because, again, he's going to be over anxious to play this thing. His job is to force him to the sideline, so he doesn't want to get beat to the sideline. His job is to force him there and close the field essentially for us. So as a wide receiver, that's where I want to attack. I want to attack that outside shoulder. I'm trying to force the hip turn so I can slip back underneath. All this is predicated. It's not like Cooper's doing all these fancy moves. It's not like he's been doing all these advanced movements out here, fellas. This is simple. This is what receivers at any level can do if they were to understand leverage and they were to understand how this guy plays and why this guy plays. So if I could attack that outside shoulder and I could get him to flip his hips like so, that can get me some space. I can slip back underneath and then obviously draw a little bit of a holding call right there. And if there's no hold, he is open by at least 2 or 3 yards. That is a perfect route there by Amari Cooper. So third tip for wide receivers to improve your football IQ, understand leverage. You got to be able to understand leverage. You got to understand what a DB is going to be doing, why he's doing a certain thing, and how you do that is through film study, fellas. You guys should be watching an hour, 30 minutes to an hour of film, depending on what time of year it is, if it's season or off season, of film every single night to understand these concepts of the people that you're going to be playing against this year. And if you don't have film of people you're playing against this year, I would try to find any kind of film that you guys can watch. If this is the channel that you choose for that, that's totally fine. So watch it again, full speed one more time. So great job attacking the outside shoulder, getting his hips to flip, and then popping this thing off to make that catch over the middle. Great route there by Amari Cooper. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. And again, fellas, if you want an 8-week-long wide receiver field workout plan, 8 weeks of all the specific drills you need to do as a wide receiver broken down into sets, reps, workout splits on a daily basis, and we include a 2-hour video explaining everything and breaking down each drill of the plan. Check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.